ह्यूमैनिटीज ले ली, अब आगे क्या? If you have ever heard questions like साइंस क्यों नहीं ली, कॉमर्स में ज्यादा स्कोप था या ह्यूमैनिटीज में करियर ऑप्शंस ही कितने होते हैं, then this video is definitely for you. Just be honest. Who maintains law and order? Who represents India on the global stage? And who run an entire district? Believe it or not, many of them started their journey with humanities. So अगर आपको भी लगता है कि humanities लेने के बाद फ्यूचर बर्बाद हो गया या humanities में करियर ऑप्शंस नहीं है, then don't worry, because in this video we'll not only discuss the career options available for you, but we'll also understand what these professionals actually do. So hello everyone, this is Janvi and welcome to Study Seed. Now without any delay, let's begin with the India's most prestigious government exam, that is UPSC Civil Services Examination. Now this examination is conducted by Union Public Service Commission each year, in short that is UPSC in short. So UPSC recruits officers for India's most prestigious positions like IAS, IFS, IPS and IRS and many more. Now let's discuss about the selection process first. The selection process is divided into 3 stages. First one is prelims or preliminary examination. Now prelims consists of 2 papers, General Studies paper 1 and second one is of CSAT. Now these papers are qualifying in nature. Most importantly, always remember कि इनके मार्क्स जो हैं वो फाइनल मेरिट लिस्ट में काउंट नहीं किए जाते, ये सिर्फ क्वालिफाइंग है, आपको कट ऑफ क्लियर करना होता है. Then second stage comes is that of mains. Mains examination is descriptive in nature, where not only your knowledge but also your analytical skills, your answer writing skills and your decision making ability is tested. So mains जो है यहाँ पे सिर्फ आपकी नॉलेज पे ध्यान नहीं दिया जाता है, सिर्फ आपकी नॉलेज मैटर नहीं करती है, बल्कि आप उस इंफॉर्मेशन को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो, आपके प्रेजेंटेशन पर बहुत ज्यादा फोकस किया जाता है, प्रेजेंटेशन मैटर करती है आपकी. नाउ द फाइनल स्टेज कम्स इज दैट ऑफ यूपीएससी इंटरव्यू और पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट. Those who qualify mains are called for personality test or UPSC interview. And in this, not only your knowledge, again, not only your knowledge, but also your personality, your attitude, your leadership skills, decision-making abilities, and overall personality is tested here. Finally, the marks obtained in mains and interview are combined together to prepare a final merit list, based on which candidates are allotted their positions as IAS, IPS, IFS, and IRS, or many more. Now, what is the selection process? First, you need to clear prelims. This is actually qualifying in nature. After that, you are qualified for mains, and then the final stage comes here, that is UPSC interview or a personality test. And the marks of mains and interview, these 2 marks are combined together to prepare a final merit list. Now what is the eligibility criteria? Who is eligible for UPSC Civil Services Examination? So anyone, either you are from humanities, science or commerce, you are eligible if you have a bachelor's degree from a recognized university and your minimum age should be 21 years. There is age limit, upper age limit for general category, that is 32 years, and there are some age relaxations for reserved categories as per government rules. Now let us discuss about some of the major posts that we get after clearing UPSC. So first one, or the most prestigious job of India, is that of IAS or Indian Administrative Service. What an IAS officer do? So an IAS officer maintains law and order, implements government policies on the ground root level, and maintains overall administration of the area under their control, under their jurisdiction. So IAS officer जो है, ये बनने के लिए आपके अंदर leadership qualities होना जरूरी है. This post is of high profile and highly reputable job of India, और यहाँ पे आपको responsible and accountable रहना पड़ता है, क्योंकि इस position पे आपका लिया गया एक फैसला, एक डिसीजन जो है मिलियंस ऑफ पीपल की लाइफ पे अपना इम्पैक्ट डालता है. तो आपको डिसीजंस बहुत सोच समझ के लेने होते हैं, और साथ ही साथ यू नीड टू बी अकाउंटेबल टू एवरीवन अंडर योर कंट्रोल. नाउ द नेक्स्ट पोजीशन इज ऑफ IPS. इफ यू वांट टू सर्व योर नेशन व्हाइल wearing a uniform, then IPS is best suited post for you. What an IPS officer do? The work of an IPS officer includes supervising investigations, leading all the police forces and the missions, and they actually ensure the public safety. They handles major criminal cases. Now IPS ऑफिसर बनने के लिए एक तरह से आपका इंटरेस्ट लीडरशिप में भी होना चाहिए एंड साथ ही साथ इन्वेस्टिगेशन में भी होना चाहिए, और ये सारी पोस्ट सिर्फ पावर नहीं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज के साथ भी आती हैं. नाउ द नेक्स्ट पोस्ट दैट विल डिस्कस इज ऑफ IFS और इंडियन फॉरेन सर्विस. An IFS officer represents India across the world. An IFS officer works in Indian embassies abroad. They protect Indians who are living in other nations and they raises India's interest on the global stage. So in short, जो IFS है वो इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करता है on the global level. And IFS बनने के लिए आपका इंटरेस्ट होना चाहिए इंटरनेशनल अफेयर्स में एंड इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिक्स में. तब जाकर के आपको IFS की पोस्ट में थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट आएगा और IFS की पोस्ट के लिए आप सुटेबल माने जाओगे. एंड द अदर वन इज IRS or Indian Revenue Service. Now IRS, this post is also important, and IRS officer works in Income Tax and Customs Department. These officers actually what their work include is to handle financial records, and IRS officers actually handle the revenue records and prevents financial frauds. अगर आपको IRS बनना है तो उसके लिए आपका इंटरेस्ट फाइनेंसेस और लीडरशिप इन दोनों एरियाज में होना चाहिए. अब जैसे गवर्नमेंट जितने भी डेवलपमेंटल प्रोजेक्ट्स निकालती है, गवर्नमेंट जितने भी डेवलपमेंटल प्रोजेक्ट्स निकाल रही है, चाहे रोड्स बनवाने हो, हॉस्पिटल, स्कूल्स या कुछ भी बनवाना हो, डेवलपमेंट से रिलेटेड जो भी प्रोजेक्ट्स निकाले जाते हैं उसके लिए काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं हमारे रेवेन्यू, यानी हमें फंडिंग चाहिए होती है इन सब प्रोजेक्ट्स को सक्सेसफुली बिल्डअप करवाने में. तो इस फंडिंग के लिए जो गवर्नमेंट है वो डिपेंड करती है IRS ऑफिसर्स पे, क्योंकि IRS ऑफिसर्स ही हैं जो सारे रेवेन्यूज को कंट्रोल करते हैं, उनके रिकॉर्ड्स रखते हैं. सो IRS ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पोस्ट है, एंड ऑल दीज पोस्ट आर हाईली रेप्यूटेबल नेशनल लेवल गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स इन इंडिया विच आर प्रोवाइडेड बाय UPSC CSE. Now let's be practical. Every year, almost 13 lakh to 15 lakh students or aspirants apply for this examination, but barely 1,000 people clear this examination and get their desired post. What about those who didn't clear this exam, who didn't make it, or what about those who want a government job but cannot make such efforts that a UPSC CSE demands? So for those, we have another examination, that is state or provincial civil services examination, that is also known as state PCS. These examinations are also best suited for those who want a government job, high profile life, and who want a highly reputable government job with good salaries and excellent promotions, and this examination is best suited for them. Now state PCS, this examination is conducted by Public Service Commission of every state. Every state has their own commission, has their own body to conduct this examination. Like for example, the body that the commission that conducts provincial civil services examination in UP or Uttar Pradesh is known as UPPSC or Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission. And for Madhya Pradesh it is MPPSC, for Rajasthan it is RPSC, and for Bihar it is BPSC. And these kind of commissions actually conducts the public service commissions in every state, in that particular state, in that particular territory. Now let us discuss about the eligibility criteria of state PCS, which is almost the same as UPSC. You just need a bachelor's degree from a recognized university. Whether you are from humanities, science or commerce, you are eligible if you have a bachelor's degree, and your minimum age should be 21 years. मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली यू नीड टू रिमेंबर कि जो सिलेबस है वो वेरी कर सकता है, सिलेबस डिफरेंट हो सकता है अलग अलग स्टेट्स का. तो बिफोर अप्लाइंग इट वुड बी बेटर कि आप अपने स्टेट के सिलेबस और उसके सारे जो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस हैं, जो सारे जो क्राइटेरिया है, वो सब आप पहले ही उसके बारे में पहले ही इंफॉर्मेशन निकाल लें. तो बिफोर अप्लाइंग यू नीड टू रिमेंबर ऑल दीज थिंग्स दैट आई मेंशन्ड राइट नाउ. सो स्टेट PCS भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. नाउ व्हाट इज द सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस? सो सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस इज ऑल्सो also the same as UPSC. Stage 1 is prelims, stage 2 is mains examination, and stage 3, the final stage, is interview or the personality test. So almost the eligibility criteria and the selection process is almost as same as UPSC. And now let's talk about some of the posts that are provided by state PCS. So some of the major posts include SDM. Now you already know about SDM, that is Sub-Divisional Magistrate. This is actually the lowest rank in IAS hierarchy, and with promotions you can go up to Cabinet Secretary. That is the highest rank in IAS hierarchy and the highest position in the whole nation. So Cabinet Secretary is the highest position in IAS hierarchy, and SDM is actually the lowest rank in IAS hierarchy. The work of an SDM includes maintaining law and order, supervising elections. Actually all the work is just as same as that of IAS officer, because it's the part of that hierarchy. So SDM has same functions like an IAS officer. Then comes DSP. DSP, the full form of DSP is Deputy Superintendent of Police. They mainly leads different police stations. The police stations of a particular area, all the police station of a particular area comes under the jurisdiction of DSP, and they leads police stations. They supervises investigations and handle major criminal cases, corruption related cases and all. So DSP is also a highly reputable job in the police hierarchy. And next one comes is BDO, that is Block Development Officer. Now many people underestimate this post, but this post is also a highly valuable position in Indian government jobs. So BDO or Block Development Officer, the primary function of a BDO is rural development. So the management of a rural area, the developmental projects are all under their control. They lead the developmental projects in a particular area, especially in rural areas. They monitors Panchayati Raj institutions and ensures that laws and orders are being maintained in their area or not. So for rural development, these officers are really important. And then another important post under state PCS is that of Tehsildar. Now again, this post is also underestimated, but it is also a highly valuable job in India. So what does Tehsildar do? They mainly keep land records and they handles all the property related matters. So all the property related matters and land records are under their control. They manages land, they conduct surveys, and this job is also very complex, and because of its complexity, it's also a highly valuable job in India, which is provided by which state PCS. So हमने state PCS and UPSC इन दोनों के जो पोस्ट हैं उनके बारे में, उनके एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया के बारे में हमने डिस्कस किया. नाउ एक और गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम है, एक और करियर एग्जामिनेशन है इंडिया में, दैट इज ऑफ SSC CGL. अब हम लोग बात करें गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स की और SSC CGL का नाम ना लें तो दैट्स इम्पॉसिबल, राइट? सो द नेक्स्ट करियर एग्जामिनेशन इन इंडिया, especially for humanities students, that is of SSC CGL. What is the eligibility criteria for SSC CGL? First of all, this examination is conducted by Staff Selection Commission, and mainly you can get a highly reputable central government jobs with good salaries, better promotions and job security here by SSC. So SSC CGL is another important career examination for humanities students. And what is the eligibility criteria? Actually, eligibility criteria varies. Mainly the age limit varies according to the post you are applying for. If you are applying for junior posts, you can your age limit can be around 18 to 27 years, and for other posts it can be around 20 to 30 years. So the eligibility criteria varies according to the post you are applying for. But one thing is compulsory, that you should have a bachelor's degree from a recognized university again. So you need a bachelor's degree for this too, and your and the age for applying can vary according to the post you are applying for. Now what does they test? They mainly test for aptitude, reasoning and English. Mainly these fields of yours are tested here in this examination. Now, what posts do we get after clearing SSC CGL? So the first one is Income Tax Officer. I'm writing it here. So, Income Tax Inspector. This post, as the name suggests, you handle the tax related records here. So income tax inspectors ensure compliance with tax laws and regulations, and they ensure financial records. Then next post comes is of GST inspector. GST, as the name suggests, it's the tax on business, and GST inspector's responsibility is to ensure So GST inspector's responsibility is to ensure all the businesses are following GST laws and regulations or not. They actually prevent financial frauds too. So their main responsibilities are include inspection, preventing financial frauds, and ensure all the GST laws are being followed in the whole nation. So this is what GST inspector do. Next important post is that of CBI sub-inspector. Now CBI sub-inspector's main duty is to lead investigations, collecting evidences and interrogating suspects. So this is what CBI sub-inspectors actually do. And अगर आपको detective kind of work पसंद है, अगर आपको detective जैसा काम करने में मजा आता है, तो this post is best suited for you. This is the most interesting job in SSC CGL. And after that, there is another important post that is of ASO. Now ASO or Assistant Section Officer, what does they do? Their role is just simple. They maintains records, they keeps records, and they drafts official documents too. So ASO officers, their posting can be in different central government ministries. It can be in Ministry of External Affairs too. So अगर आपकी posting Ministry of External Affairs में हो जाती है, तब काफी ज्यादा हाई पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं कि इन फ्यूचर प्रमोशंस होने के बाद आपकी पोस्टिंग फॉरेन नेशंस में भी कर दी जाए, इंडियन एम्बेसीज में. सो एएसओ एक्चुअली द बेस्ट post in SSC CGL and highly reputable job if you want a career in foreign services like that of IFS. So in this video we have explored some of the major career options available for humanities students, and these are just a few examples. Apart from these, there are many other options, there are many other career opportunities for humanities students, like they can make their career in banking, law, defense and etc. Different fields are there for humanities students. So अगर आपसे भी कोई दोबारा ये पूछता है कि ह्यूमैनिटीज ही क्यों ली, ह्यूमैनिटीज में करियर ऑप्शंस ही नहीं है, then just smile and ignore them, because now you know the truth that no stream is superior or inferior. स्ट्रीम सिर्फ आपको एक डायरेक्शन देती है, नो स्ट्रीम इज सुपीरियर और इंफीरियर. सो अगर आप ह्यूमैनिटीज से हैं, डोंट अंडर एस्टिमेट योर सेल्फ. और अगर आपको ये वीडियो इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगी है, देन शेयर इट विद योर फ्रेंड्स, स्पेशली टू दोज जिन्हें अभी भी ह्यूमैनिटीज लेने के बाद कंफ्यूजन है. तो उनके लिए हो सकता है ये वीडियो बहुत ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेटिव हो, तो आप उन फ्रेंड्स के साथ इस वीडियो को जरूर शेयर करें. एंड इफ यू वांट मोर वीडियोस ऑन करियर गाइडेंस, गवर्नमेंट एग्जाम्स एंड UPSC preparation, then let me know in the comment section, so we'll make another video on it too. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay curious, stay consistent.